Sagittarius, how are you? Welcome to your May 2016 love and general readings. That's my little friend Duncan. She may be in and out. I'm just going to go ahead and get started with your love reading. This is going to be your love reading for May 2016. Okay, Sagittarius, a lot of major arcana happening here. And a lot of love cards, which is great. This is kind of the first time that I've had that this month for all the signs, so good. The fives, let's just dive in. 5, 5, 5, 5. Five of Cups, 5 of Swords, reverse. Oh, I'm doing reversals this month. I forgot I do that in my generals. I do them all right side, but I started, so I just kept it going. So reversals this month. So you have these. I love these cards in reverse. Right side, I don't like so much. They don't ever really sit very well with me, and as a tarot reader, the energies don't ever really, they don't speak to me very well. But in reverse, it's like a breath, right? It's a relief, because it means you're letting something go. It means you're moving on. Like, whatever it was, whatever it is that you are fighting for, that you have been fighting for, perhaps a love relationship that did not work out, perhaps someone that you've been feeling a strong connection with and it just hasn't panned out yet. Something is being relieved, right? There's some acknowledgement, there's some honesty happening within you that says, okay, this past relationship that didn't work out, this past love that didn't work out, it's okay, right? Now, the presence of the lovers in and of itself tells me that there was a very strong love, okay? A strong love. My cat's doing, he's playing with something. That you felt very, very deeply. It's like a soulmate quality, right? Those soulmate qualities don't always turn into relationships. You might just meet someone in a fleeting moment and it just never forms into anything. Maybe it's a distance, maybe it's a cultural difference, maybe it's a religious difference, but sometimes it just doesn't pan out, or sometimes we do lose really important loves in our life. And I think for the first time in a very long time, oh, Duncan, okay, she's knocking things over, okay. For the first time in a very long time, you are letting things go. And the things that you were fighting for, and okay, so this doesn't necessarily mean like a past love, right? If you are in a relationship and this speaks to you in terms of your existing marriage or partner, whatever like disagreement or whatever thing that you may have been feeling parted you or separated you or distanced you from one another, right? You could be in a long-term relationship and married for 20 years and maybe recently something happened, or maybe a few years ago something happened. Maybe there was some sort of betrayal or some sort of infidelity somewhere. But whatever that was, I think you've been coping, and you're getting through it, okay? And it's a success for you. The Five of Pentacles tells me that you still might have an idea in your mind, right? A very, like you think love is, or you think love with this person is, or you see another person as something. But that's not quite exactly the reality of the situation, right? But either way, or, I'm sorry, I'm confusing myself. I'm sorry, let me start over. Well, not over, but with this one. In the past, or recently, the recent past, let me just use an example, because I'm fumbling over my words. Let's say there was someone that you fell head over heels in love with, right? And nothing really came of it. Maybe they were married, maybe they lived in a different country or something like that. And you perceive them to be something, and you felt left out, you felt unwanted, you felt isolated, right? They weren't on that same page with you. I think for the first time, you are seeing that the reality of the situation, right? That maybe they never returned their feelings, or maybe there really were significant differences that it couldn't work out, okay? And I think that realization, that acceptance of that realization, is what is allowing you to move forward. It's what is allowing you to let go of this idea that maybe you've been fighting for a very long time. Maybe you're letting that person go, that presence in your life. If you've been married and something occurred, not saying that you're making excuses for yourself or for your partner, or however the situation went down. You're not making excuses for the situation, but you're accepting the reality of the situation and the magnitude, right? This also has to do with magnitude, where it might not really be that big a deal, okay? In the grand scheme of all of life, sometimes our problems, our issues need to be put in perspective. And not saying we need to compare, but kind of I am, like comparing it to some of the other problems in our life and in our world, and really determining that maybe it's really not that big a deal. Maybe it's okay to really let things go, and to let go of the status quo, and to not worry so much about what other people think of us, not worry so much about how people perceive us, how we perceive ourselves, how what happened doesn't conform with normal society or our normal culture, and really okay, being okay with that on some level, okay? I think the change within you is going to make you feel a little off balance, though. The change in you, the moving on, letting go. Sometimes letting go of something we've been hanging on to can be it's like a good challenge, and it throws our equilibrium off, okay? Because it became comfortable, it became common, it became so much a part of our thought process, so much a part of our lives, that when we either get bored of the idea or when we stop hanging on to it, it's like that fear of not having that presence in our life anymore. It's a good thing, okay, but it is still a little bit scary. I think you have a wonderful presence about you. There's a calmness about you, even though you might be feeling these things, by letting these things go and accepting that maybe something wasn't meant to be, maybe a person or a situation in your relationship wasn't meant to pan out, that wedge was there for a reason. That wedge is placed there because the universe is doing its work. This card has shown up in so many signs this month. And it's almost always been in reverse. And it tells me that the universe is very busy right now. And pieces of the puzzle are being laid out. These are things that we cannot see, we cannot understand. Magnitude. It's the universal plan of being in the right place at the right time, and what are the chances that we're meant to be there? What are the chances that we are there in that place, right? I mean, this is working its magic right now. And the wedge that is placed between you, okay, again, whether it's someone that didn't work out with, whether it's a recent breakup, whether it's an issue you're having in your relationship, it's all a part of something better. As simple as it sounds and as fantastical as it sounds, that's what I'm being compelled to say. Okay. And I mean, it's difficult news to hear, I think, for a lot of you and a lot of us, that, you know, something just wasn't meant to work out, and something that we were hanging on to and that we were so hopeful of, or something that was really bothering us, something that was really eating away at us, that, you know, we were coping with, and it was affecting us, and it was preventing us from moving forward with other people or in our current relationship. It was a blockage. And with that, relief opens up beautiful potential. A renewal, perhaps, with your husband or wife of 20 years. A newfound love, a newfound respect for one another. Forgiveness, peace, and acceptance of others' flaws, of others' mistakes, of not being able to fix everything that happened, or a possibility of a new love coming in, possibility of someone you don't even know exists yet, there for you. Someone waiting for you, someone that the universe has placed in your path, or that will place in your path, because it's a part of the plan for you. Let me go ahead and draw more cards. Feel, again, like a very social month for you, right? I feel like there's a lot of people in this reading, right? And there is a social element to all of this. And what's interesting, and one thing I really like about, I have a few Sag friends, and one thing I love about them is that no matter how down and out they may get, no matter how sad they can get, and I think this is the Jupiter thing, I don't know, but you guys are always so positive. You're always so happy. And optimistic about things. And that, I think that's like such an attractive quality for you, that no matter how deep your emotions may be running, no matter how sad or good you're feeling, you're always just like bubbly sunshine. Okay, I don't know how else to explain it. I really, it's something I think a lot of people enjoy about your energy. And I don't see that changing at all. I see that despite things maybe not working out, I think you're just coping very well, or you will cope very well. And you will be very open to meeting new people, to going out and having a good time. You will be very open to the idea of opportunities. And there is still an element of like fear of jumping off the cliff. Okay, the Fool reversed. There's a little bit of hesitation, right? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Fool in reverse. There's a little bit of hiatus, a little bit of reluctance to initiate change, reluctance to like make things happen. You may be processing things in this fashion. You may be, accepting certain things, accepting downfalls in people's personalities, accepting that a past love didn't work out, or whatever. You may be accepting those things, but yet emotionally, I think you're still fearful of just jumping into something new. Doesn't mean that opportunity won't arise, but you might be a little cautious in your courtship or in your relations, I guess, moving forward. The Two of Pentacles tells me, a lot of times this card is about choices, options, and keeping things going. For me, it's very much an indication of two energies, two entities that exchange. It's the infinity sign, right? You're two separate things, and yet you're connected by this invisible force. It's this incredibly desirable, infinite exchange of energy that is the essence of true love. And I think true love, quote unquote, is, it's in your cards here. There can be a renewal of that love. There can be an entry of that love. I'm just going to move things around here. There can be an entry of that love. But yet, and it's something that you want, it is something that you crave, it is something that you feel, or you may feel with your partner, you may feel it with your someone that you're dating, or someone that you're going to meet, someone that you're getting to know, I don't know. But despite the way you feel, you're still going to be hesitant to leap. And that's okay. That's neither good nor bad. I think that just is showing up here for you. Okay? So if I can get my cat out of the way, let's go ahead and do your generals. Okay, that's definitely the one. Okay. Okay. I mean, definitely a lot of reversals, huh? I mean, the Lover's in the center. I don't know. I think a love connection. I'm sorry. I know this is supposed to be a general reading, and most of the readings thus far I have tied into other areas of life. But the Lovers is so strong for me in the romantic department that it's hard for me to say that it can be anything else. But this love can indicate our own personal love as well, the love we feel for ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to try to speak to it more on that level, but if it does speak to you in a romantic sense, because that's the only major arcana in this spread, and it's directly in the center. The focus is so tightly drawn in this, with this energy. It's hard for me to say it's anything else, you know? I don't know. This is a very interesting reading because I'm just seeing so much happening, and yet you are still remaining very closed, okay? Emotionally, not willing, not ready to make a choice, not willing to commit, feeling very disengaged. I don't know why, but the word numb is coming to my mind, because with so much activity happening, I mean, opportunities in so many departments, right? If you've been traveling a lot, if you've been going out a lot, if you've been, moving a lot, not moving like your house, but like going from one place to the next, even if it's just socially going out every night and partying, or, dating, or working really hard even, and going and going. I think you are getting very tired, okay? You're getting tired, and the fulfillment factor isn't there the way it used to be. I think you are changing a lot, okay? And opportunities with work, opportunities with love, especially if you're single, if you're just kind of having so many things enter my mind right now. I just think there's so much activity around you, but something is really lacking. Not to say you're not grateful for it, not to say you're not enjoying it, not to say you're not taking advantage of it, when opportunities come. It's not like you're not going out and meeting new people and finding new connections with people. It's not like you're not working, you're not, I think you are. I think you're being very productive. But yet there's something happening here, right? The Four of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles reverse, the Four of Swords reverse. What is it in I feel like this is something in the past. I don't know why. Because it's in the present place, right? This is like you and everything around you. But I think because of the Four of Swords, that this is something that happened in your past. Something, your mind and so many things. Are you distracting yourself on purpose to avoid dealing and coping with things? Now, it's kind of a contradiction for what I said in that last reading. Again, I'm not trying to give you 2 love readings, but I think there is something in your mind, and I don't think you've quite tackled it yet. You might be moving on, you might be, or maybe not moving on, you might be coping at this point in time, and you might be trying to find a way to let those things go. But I think you might be having difficulty putting your finger on it. What is it? Like, I'm having difficulty putting my finger on this reading. What is it that is causing you to close off? It's causing you to feel shaky. It's causing you to be reluctant to jump in when you have so many things around you, so many opportunities. Work-wise, I think things are going very well for you. You have a lot of movement in the career department. In the love department, I think you have a lot of movement. There is a lot of activity, but it's not forming into anything. There's no real change yet. There's nothing of substance yet. Okay? In your work, you may be working very, very hard. You may have a lot of activity, but just staying busy is just being busy. It's being busy with purpose and productive busy that creates things, creates businesses, it creates relationships. But what are you hiding from? What are you afraid to expose to someone? I don't think that you are entirely happy with where you are. There's a presence of analysis, dissatisfaction, feeling deflated. Your spirits have been dampened, and you are not sure why. Sometimes when you have a lot of things going for you, and you have people in your life, and you have career opportunities and love interests and adventure, you have so many beautiful things around you, and yet you feel numb, you feel disconnected. Why? You're just scared of facing demons. You're scared of facing a part of yourself that you're unfamiliar with. What's interesting is the Three of Cups, but now in reverse. That social element is still there. You're still your happy, bubbly, outgoing self. But I think internally you have been very affected. You are in a very strange place, a very unfamiliar place. And I don't think you know what it is that you need to fulfill a void, to fulfill a gap somewhere, whether in your relationship, whether in your career, but I think just your life in general. I think there's a lot of activity all over the place, but it is very much a distraction. I think there's going to be an entry of something with the Eight of Wands here. The entry of something that is very welcome. Okay, a message. This is a card of communication. A message is going to come to you. A opportunity is going to come to you. It's an opportunity for travel, for going somewhere. And I think it's going to make you happy. You're a happy person in general. Okay, I'm not saying you're like out there moping and being, because that's definitely not the case. I think you again, you're so magnetic, you're so charismatic and fun and cool, and like people love to be around you. And you're like the most fun in the zodiac, not to put anyone else down, but that's kind of your MO. And yet on the deeper levels, when you peel back the onion, you're feeling raw and vulnerable and a little bit empty. And a chance for you to invite something into your life that has great potential to be fulfilling, I think is here or is coming. Okay, might not be right now, but where you are now and what's going on in your heart, in your career, in your social life, with friends and family, it's all great. It's all blessings. You are being blessed. There's new things coming in all the time. Things are fresh. Things are organic. Things are good. They're natural. Things are flowing. But yet you remain disconnected. Yet you remain a little closed off. You aren't yourself, if I can say that. So, I'm excited for you with the Eight of Wands. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, and it's associated with strength in the Major Arcana. And strength is willpower and courage to explore the unknown. That's what you are, an adventurer. That's what you are. It's what you do. Sagittarius, you are the hunter, right? You go out there, you put yourself in vulnerable positions. That's what you do. And yet you're feeling lost. You're doing it, and yet you feel lost. It's your natural state, and yet it feels unnatural. And something is coming. Something will come. That I think not only will capture your attention, but that will be very, very welcome in your life. Okay? I hope I didn't confuse you with this reading. There were so many things, like, I can't believe how many things entered my mind, and then I'm still kind of have so many things. I feel like I don't know, I feel like I'll just be repeating myself, but there's just so many things for you. And ultimately, I think, even though it might be a little confusing and there's beautiful things in front of you, and the presence of the Lovers, just because it's in reverse, you still have the Lovers. And there is something there for you, whether it is love itself or whether it is that personal belief, whether that is your love with yourself as well. Okay? So anyway, again, I hope I didn't confuse you too much, but I wish you nothing but the best this coming May, and that's it. I'll see you next month.